Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be doing the 2026 World Cup early predictions. I will be doing two more after the March international window and right before the World Cup actually starts. So without further ado, like and subscribe, and let's start with Group A. Group A consists of Mexico, UEFA playoff winner D, which consists of Denmark, North Macedonia, Czech Republic, and Republic of Ireland, South Korea, and South Africa. This is an absolute banger of a group. I think it's personally the group of life. Very easy group for any team here. And I do think Mexico will actually top it. And the reason is they've just had a decent year, especially with winning the Gold Cup against the United States in the summer. And overall, it's just been a good year for them. Or maybe not necessarily a great year, but all these teams that are in this group aren't at their greatest form that they've been in, but I do think even though Denmark could possibly qualify, which I think they will, I think Mexico will just still top it because Denmark has seemed to struggle in the past few years ever since their great Euro 2020 run. Mexico's results haven't been the best after the Gold Cup as they haven't won a single game, including a game with South Korea, which is in the group. But in all honesty, Denmark has not had a great year either. That's why I would put them in second, as they actually did kind of struggle against teams like Greece and Belarus. South Korea have actually had a great few months for them, but I just don't think they could compete with the levels. It's going to be very, very close, but I just don't think enough things will click in time for the World Cup, but anything could happen. I could even see South Korea topping the group, but they would just have to have the perfect games. I think it's going to be very close, and yeah. Here, while Bafana, South Africa, has been in okay form, but I just don't think they will be close to topping the group. I do put them in last place. I don't see them really getting much points from this World Cup, but I do think this group will actually be very similar to the Euro 2024, Belgium, Ukraine, and Romania, and etc., which they all had 4 points, and that was like the first ever time. I do think this group is going to be insanely close, especially with the first three. But on to the next group, Switzerland, UEFA playoff winner A, which consists of Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Bosnia-Herzegovina, Canada, and Qatar. While I do think Switzerland with no problem will top the group here, it gets more interesting once we get to the next places, which is UEFA Playoff A, which I do think Bosnia will make it through. Even if Italy makes it through, I don't see them beating Switzerland. But we're focusing on Bosnia here, who I think will qualify. And I think they will do pretty good with possibly Edin Dzeko playing in this World Cup. And the other two teams, Canada and Qatar, have not really been in form. And Qatar is yet to have their World Cup win. Canada as well. I just don't think any of these teams will shine in the World Cup, although Canada will probably get the best out of Qatar. And that's it pretty much for this group. I think it's a no-brainer to choose this, but best of luck to all teams. Now Group C, one of the most difficult groups. Sorry, Haiti, but you were definitely going into fourth here into this group with Morocco, Brazil, Scotland, and Haiti. While all these countries have class, I just don't see Haiti doing good against this super difficult group, which I totally understand. This is very unfortunate for the Haitian national team. I will put Scotland national team in third, although they always just do good in qualifiers. They can never transform that kind of form into the actual tournament, and I will definitely put Scotland in third, as Morocco and Brazil, they're just on a different kind of level of skill here, especially Morocco and Brazil. They are one of the top teams currently in 2025. Well, don't get me wrong, Scotland is a great national team. I just do not see them competing in that level. They might get a point off from Brazil or Morocco, but I just don't see it. And I think they will just get the best of Haiti. If they want to qualify through this third place spot, they would really need to hammer down Haiti with a huge scoreline of like 5-0 or something to get a good goal differential. And for the first time in many decades, I think Brazil are finally not going to be the favorites to win the World Cup. After 2 quarterfinal exits from the last 2 World Cups, ever since then, Brazil just haven't been on the same exact form as they used to be, that one dominant national team. which I do think Morocco will actually top the group, as their form has just been incredible since the 2022 World Cup, especially in their youth. Their most notable victory in the youth under-20 team was winning the under-20 World Cup this year in 2025. And it was just great, and we could see very good improvement in the youth squad of Morocco. And on to the next group, which consists of United States, Paraguay, Australia, and Pot C UEFA playoff winner. For the UEFA Pot C winner, I do think Turkey will go through, so we will count that in this video as Turkey. I would put Turkey to top the group. Their qualifiers went good, except they just had a difficult opponent of Spain, which they did draw once, but they did get better than the first game against them, but overall they destroyed the rest of the teams in the group. I do think the US is getting better, but not as better than Turkey. Which leads me to my next conclusion of the United States getting second in the group. The reason why I think is just simple. They've gotten much better ever since the Gold Cup, and they have defeated Paraguay and Australia this year in earlier friendlies. And I think that'd be repeated once again in the World Cup. And then for third place, I would put Paraguay over Australia. I just don't see Australia making the knockouts just like they did in the 2022 World Cup. I think Paraguay would beat them in their matchup in the World Cup, and that's why I just put them in third. I don't think Paraguay or Australia will get points against the US or Turkey, but I do think Paraguay will defeat Australia in the World Cup. On to the next group. Group E consists of Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. I think without saying anything, we're going to just go ahead and put Germany in that first place position. They're the clear favorites of the group. Germany hasn't been convincing in the past years, but I do still think that they will top the group. They are the most top-notch team you could get. I would put Ecuador in second place. I do think they're going to be one of the dark horses of the tournament. Just did a fabulous job in getting second in the qualifiers of South America, and they deserve that second place spot. And keep in mind, Ecuador started with -3 points because of a scandal of using a player that isn't actually from Ecuador. For third place, I do think Ivory Coast will get it. 2024 AFCON winners, they've been on a rise of form, and for Curacao, this is going to be their first World Cup. They're just going to try to get used to it, and this is a pretty difficult group for such a small nation. But again, good luck to all these countries. Next group, Group F. For Group F, we have Netherlands, Japan, Pot B UEFA winners, and I do think Poland will win in the playoff B group. And then the next country is Tunisia. And overall, I do think that Netherlands will top the group. They have been in decent form, but they just, in their qualifiers group, could not beat Poland. They both tied 1-1 home and away, but I still do think Netherlands will top the group. And for Poland, which is for playoff B, I do think they will get second. I think that Poland has the form and are slowly going up after the complete mess with Michał Probierz leaving and now having a successful start with their new manager, Jan Urban. I think Poland could get the best out of Tunisia and put up a great fight and probably win against Japan and could get some points from the Netherlands, but sticking it safe and putting them in second. And then for third, Japan. It's going to be very close in those top three because Japan in the 2022 World Cup, they upset in their group. They topped the group phenomenally with Spain and Germany and Costa Rica, but I don't think they could beat Netherlands or Poland. It could be a tie, and they beat Tunisia and tie both teams, but it's going to be so close, but I do think they will go in third. In Tunisia, I'll put them in fourth. I don't think they're going to get any points from this group. They didn't really have the greatest AFCON run here in 2025, getting knocked out by Mali, who was one man down. It was just a disappointing run, and I think they will continue this kind of disappointing form into the World Cup. Group F, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Belgium's going into number one. They got the easiest group and are by far the best team here. But knowing Belgium's form, they could always upset, but I don't see anything like that happening. Number 2, we'll go into Egypt. As of now, they just beat Ivory Coast 3-2 and have been on up of a form here in the AFCON and are looking forward to playing against Senegal next and going to the final. Egypt have good form and they have the ability to defeat all these teams, but Belgium might get the best out of them. And then Iran, I do think they will get third. I just don't think New Zealand have the form, and I just don't think they will do good in this World Cup. And Iran, they've been playing in lots of World Cups this century, and these past few World Cups, they've been qualifying to them. And I think they will defeat New Zealand, but not enough to get the top 2. Now Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. I do think Spain will go into first, no questions asked. They're the best team in the world right now, according to the FIFA standings, and I mean, they are just phenomenal currently. But then this is where it gets tricky. Uruguay, most people will say they go second, but they've been slacking a lot. But I still do think they could get second. I think they could turn stuff around before the World Cup and actually impress a few people here, and I don't think they will actually have a poor group stage run. But then for the next places, I will choose Saudi Arabia to go into third. 2022 in the World Cup, it was a decent run, beating Argentina, but then losing to Poland and Mexico. But I just don't think Saudi Arabia have a chance against Spain. It's going to be very close against Uruguay, and then Cabo Verde, they're going to lose. It's their first World Cup. They just have to celebrate this. But they still do focus, but I don't think they will do good in the World Cup. And now for France, Senegal, Pot 2 FIFA Interconfederations Cup in Norway. I do think France will get first here. They've been great. Third place currently in the FIFA standings rankings. But then I put Senegal. Most people might put Norway, but Norway hasn't been to a World Cup in a long time. And Senegal have been showing up to World Cups recently, and they've been doing decent. And right now, Senegal are actually in form. Looking at their AFCON 2025, right now they're in the semifinals and looking forward to going into the finals next week. So it's going to be very close. But I do think Senegal will actually get that second place ahead of
Norway's
Norway.
UEFA qualifiers run was phenomenal, defeating Italy twice, losing 0 times, scoring so many goals.
But I just don't think Norway could put that into a different level. I mean, they have to go against France, Senegal, and obviously either Iraq, Bolivia, or Suriname. But I think Norway could beat whoever wins in the winter playoff, which I do think will be Bolivia. But I don't think they could beat France or Senegal. Just not yet. Next, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Right here off the bat, we will be putting Argentina first, Austria second. Both teams have had such a good last few years, and Austria with Ralf Rangnick, great Euros, and have been on
And
form.
here for fourth place, Jordan is going to have to go into the fourth place.
I don't think they could fight against any of these teams. They won't have a good World Cup. And then for Algeria, they did have a decent AFCON run, getting knocked out by Nigeria in the quarterfinals. But a matchup Austria-Algeria will be very good, but I just think Austria will get the best out of them. And for Group K, Portugal, pot playoff 1 in Confederations Cup in Uzbekistan and Colombia. For the pot 1, I do think Jamaica will make it, but for topping the group, it will have to be Portugal. Portugal have been very good, winning the UEFA Nations League. And then for Colombia, they will get second. They haven't made it to the World Cup in 2022, but are back in it, and I think it will be easy for Portugal and Colombia to defeat Uzbekistan, who are coming to the World Cup for the first time, and Jamaica, in my predictions, to be in this group. But for fourth place, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put Uzbekistan. I think they will have a very, very disappointing World Cup, getting all hyped up and stuff, but I just don't think they will do good, and I think Jamaica will actually defeat them or just get a better goal differential out of them if there is a draw in between these teams. And overall, this is the standings for Group K. Now for Group L, England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I do think England and Croatia will get the top 2. England is in good form, and
I don't think Croatia would be able to defeat England here. Revenge for the 2018 semifinals could be happening here, and I do think England will defeat Croatia. On to the third place, I do think Ghana will get third and defeat Panama. Ghana did not even qualify for the AFCON 2025. Huge disappointment, but I do think they will come back here and get this third place. While Panama, I just don't think they will have a good World Cup. It's going to be closer between third and fourth, but not enough. And here a little quick thing. I'm going to pick the best third place teams. And we're going to start off with Japan. And then I'm going to go choose, let's see, South Korea as a second best team. Then I think I'll go for Norway. They've been decent in form. And then I think I'll probably go for, this is a tough choice. There's a lot of good third place contenders here. I'll go for Paraguay in the US group. Then I'll probably go for, let's see, Saudi Arabia is good, and Iran. And there's still Algeria here I'll choose, and yeah, those are all the third place teams: Japan, Iran, South Korea, Norway, Algeria, Paraguay, Ivory Coast, Saudi Arabia. And those are all the teams. Scotland, Ghana, etc. missing out on the third place playoff. Thank you guys for watching this long video here for the World Cup 2026 predictions. And let's thank the FIFA and the FIFA partners here making this application. It's a great prediction application, and I had so much fun. So see you for the bracket challenge.